Are you ready to start collecting Marvel comics? Well, you don't know where to start because there are so many options out there and it seems overwhelming. Well, don't worry. In this video, I'm going to help you out. We're going to go through the list of all the different options you have in the market today. And the best options based on your reading preference, your space limitations, and also your budget. So stay tuned. Well, the best way to start collecting comics, first and foremost, is through single issues. That's the way everybody starts. You can go to your local comic book shop, you can get new comics, but also you can go through the list of all the older comics through their dollar bins, and it's a great way to start collecting single issues. If you still like to remember the way it was back in the day reading comics in the original format, then that's the best way to do it. Now, you can also do it digitally. Comixology is it's a good way, and they also run a lot of special sales every week, Mondays and Fridays and every month. So definitely you can buy stuff for $1. And not only Comixology, you also have other apps like IDW, and many of these apps can really help you. In this case, Dark Horse Comics as well. And that's a great way to collect comics through single issues. You can do it physically, that's the classic way, or you can do it digitally. Now, the next option, and this is another one that a lot of people collect and is very inexpensive, is through trade paperbacks. Now, trade paperbacks like this one right here, which is the Mighty Thor, Tom DeFalco, Ron Friends, very good one. They collect around, I would say, 5 to 7 issues. They're very easy to find. You can go to also your comic book shops. They sell them for a couple of dollars. You can order online. You can go through many different places. They're the ones that you can find in most libraries. Easy to find, very cheap, the easy format. You don't have to worry about, taking care of them, because you can bend them, you can pay a couple of dollars, and you definitely have some good collections. They normally have between 5, 7, up to 10 issues per I would say per book, but they're fantastic. That's another way that you can collect comic book stories. The next one is very similar to the previous option, and these are the Marvel Essentials. Now, Marvel Essentials was a line that ran between 1996, one of the oldest, until 2013, where they discontinued it. Now, the difference between that trade paperback to this paperbacks is the fact that one was in black and white, no color. But a lot of people love them because they were really huge. They got between 20 to 30 issues per book, and no color, and they were fantastic. Some people even used them just to kind of paint or draw in them, do all kind of things. Very good ones. They're paperbacks of covers, same size as this, and they were replaced later on by in this case the Epic Collection. That brings me to the Epic Collection. Now, the Epic Collection, or the Ultimate Collection, also known. It is just the same size as the trade paperbacks. Now, the difference is that this replaced Essentials, not only because of the line that they were producing, but also because they're color in full. They also have the digital option. You can find them digitally. But there's another factor. They're I would say larger in size. They have the same size, 10 inches and a quarter. They're not that big. They're easy to maneuver. That's another great factor about paper trade backs. You can really destroy them if you want to, and you really don't lose too much money. So that's another great option. They concentrate on a lot of big runs, and they're very, in this case, I would say those are the type of omnibuses within the soft trade paperbacks. Now we're getting into the hardcover collections. Now, the most important one will be Marvel Masterworks. Marvel Masterworks has been around for years. Started back in 1987. It is the most classic of the hardcovers. It's around 10 and a half, so it's in this case, a quarter inch larger than the soft covers. And mostly it is the same size. It is a bit larger just because of in this case, because of the hardback. And that makes it a bit, that little quarter inch is just the difference there. As they go by volumes, they can go up to start from the beginning. They concentrate primarily on the Golden Age and Silver Age, but lately also in Bronze Age. So you can collect them by number. And they're fantastic when you collect them in a bookcase. They are great. They have a great introduction normally, a write-up by the artist or the person that was involved in the process of the creation of the book. They are fantastic. They're very classic. The next one on the list would be Marvel Premier Collection. Now, the Marvel Premier Collection, like this one right here, is the same size of the Masterworks, the same size, 10 and a half inches, tall. And they're fantastic. There's the same thing. The only difference with the Masterworks, the Masterworks had a really nice introduction. This don't have that introduction, but they also kind of they're in between. They have a lot of stories. They're more like story arcs versus the Masterworks. They're based in volumes. They kind of follow a sequence of numbers. These are more like story arcs. And this only lasted between 2006 and 2013. That's when the last one was. I think it was X-Force. It was the last one of the X-Force collections. But it's another way. They're hardcover. They're very nice. You know, they definitely have a couple of them because they're great additions in between my omnibuses. So definitely this is another option because they're discontinued. You can find them cheap, very cheap at your local comic book shops. Now, moving on to the next one on our list, we have in this case, the Marvel hardcover collections. And this one don't really have a name per se, but they've been around and they're really, really fantastic. Now, these are the same size of omnibuses. They're 11 inches and a quarter. So these are great. The only difference with the premieres that I like the premieres because they go alongside well, but they're the size difference, and these are the same size as an omnibus, and they're fantastic. They can have between 15, 16, 17 up to that point of issue, so it's kind of like half an omnibus, but they're fantastic. They have the runs, fantastic hardcover collections. There are plenty of them. They still produce them for all the different runs and a lot of story arcs. There's another way. Prices vary. Like this one is hard to come by right now, but you can find them for all different prices in a lot of different stores. And definitely they have this really side, pretty much. I like the side, the art and all that. They kind of go alongside well when they sit on in the bookshelf. So I like them. These are fantastic. There are fantastic ways to read comics. The next one on the list is the very praised and very sold out Marvel Omnibus. Like you can see right here. Marvel Omnibuses, I would say, are my favorite in this list. I like them. They're fantastic. They're well made. Same size as the previous hardcovers. This is to me a great standard. It's bigger, in size, like an inch more than the regular ones of the Masterworks or just the soft covers, and that's good. I like them. They're heavy. Not only they have a lot of runs, they have a big runs, they also have a lot of extras, and they're fantastic for the price. In my opinion, that's the best way to collect Marvel comics. Definitely very fantastic. They are all from the Golden Age, the Silver Age, the Bronze Age, and the Modern Age. They all the time they're in production, and we continue to have those. So those that's a high recommendation for me, and that's another way to collect comics. Now, the next on my list, and I'm going to include two types. They're newer versions of newer formats that, in this case, Marvel is trying out. We have the Marvel Adamantium collection. They have only produced, I think, 3 of them, like the X-Men. It was first Wolverine, the X-Men, and Deadpool. Now, the Adamantium collection is super, super huge. You're looking around 19.5 inches tall, which is really huge. They're pretty much the same size of the IDW's, in this case, artists' editions, which are technically books for the Bronze Age, the Silver Age, even the Golden Age artists, with technically just the art, just the original, in this case, panels, no colors or anything. So it's the same size. They're huge, 19 inches tall, and there's a new format that started now with in this case the X-Men by Jim Lee, that is the double extra large, the XXL, and that one is 21.25. So that's huge. To give you kind of like an idea of how big this books are, here we have the omnibus. Again, it is 11.25 inches tall. This is another book, I think the largest that I have in my collection right now, the He-Man and the Master of the Universe, the newspaper comic strip, and this is from in this case Dark Horse Comics. That is 14.25. So you can see the omnibus right there. Now, if you add the 21.25 of the XXL, which is technically this right here, that would be the difference. So I don't know if you can see it from here. That will be how tall the book would be. As you can see, will be up to here. Super huge. It's like 13.25, 13.5. So it's really wide. So definitely that's another option. Not necessarily for everyone. It isn't necessarily you're a collector, but not necessarily the most easy to read format. A lot of people also complain even of the omnibuses because they're hard sometimes to manipulate. They're not as like soft covers, or even the Masterworks, which are lighter. So that is huge. So definitely that's more for collectible purposes. There's something that you're not going to read in your lap. You're going to have to put it on the table and read it. So that's the difference. But those are the new ones. what I like about the adamantium is that they come with the slip case, which just always protects the books. Because one problem you're going to notice with a lot of omnibuses, it is this, and a lot of times if you don't have a cover, like some people like to put like a, in this case a plastic cover, then they're going to have this. They're gonna rub on the whatever bookcase, and there's nothing wrong. It's not like you are doing it wrong. It's just because of gravity. Of course, the weight of the book is gonna come down, so the papers are touching the bottom. They have to go down. That's just gravity. And when you take them out of the bookshelf, of course, they're gonna rub there. So they have this little rub. You can clean that up. In another video, I'll show you how to clean those things up. But definitely that's another difference, and that's what I like about the adamantium, that they have the slip cases, just like in this case, the Absolutes in DC. From DC, and that's the difference. So definitely those are the newer options. They're huge, they're nice, yeah, but they're really big. Now the last on this list are the Marvel box set collections. Those are really pricey and they're sold out by a lot of book collectors. Those are really a box, it's a box set that has different tomes, different volumes inside. They don't have dust jackets, they don't have slip cases, they're just the books. And they have the stories, the entire runs. You have one from Infinity War. I think there's one from the Avengers. There's a couple. And they're really pricey, $250. It could be up to $400. It depends where you buy them and when you buy them. If you buy them early, you can save some money. They're really pricey. The size of Masterworks, so they're not that big, 10 and a quarter, 10 and a half. But they're nice, but they don't have extras. Some of them, they come with an extra book with the extras, but most of them do not have any extras. So definitely it's just the book in the new format and the fancy box, but it's all it is. So, but they're fantastic. I'm not saying that they're not. Some of them, like I would say the Infinity War is a very good Infinity Gauntlet, because it has the entirety of the Infinity War. So that's a pretty good collection, but they don't have the extras like they do with the omnibuses. So definitely that's another option, one that is more pricey, not for everyone, but if you're into those kind of things, definitely it is a new thing that they're trying, and it seems that it's becoming popular, not necessarily at the top of the list. Well, as you can see on this list, there are plenty options to collect Marvel comics, where there is physical and digital. Nowadays, most of the stuff that I showcase here is already in digital format. So you can get that digital format, the digital copy, and this is another way to collect. There's other formats that they, in this case, Marvel tries out, the same as DC, but these are the most common ones that you can collect. Of course, the best way to do it is to do it. And whether you do it physically or digitally, whether you do it through a soft cover, or you do it through hardcover, you have to know the option that I would say it fits your profile, your budget first and foremost. So you can afford the omnibuses, then go for it. If it's too expensive, then try something different, like soft cover, straight paperbacks. The important thing is that you read the comics, not only that you collect them or you buy them, but that you get to experience them, because it's not all about just collecting the books and just keep them there forever. It's about you enjoying the experience or reading them. And some are better than others. Soft covers are better when it comes about the way you handle them. You can carry them everywhere and you can destroy them for a couple of dollars. You really don't lose much. Now the omnibuses, on the other hand, they're heavier. Sometimes they're hard to maneuver, particularly if you like to lay down to read or when you're doing it in bed. So that's not as good. The option to do it through your tablet, through your phone, is another one. Is digital, but some people don't like it because they like the smell, they like the feel of actual comics. So at the end of the day, it's just a matter of preference, but you have to choose wisely. So these are the different formats. I hope this can help. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comments below. If you also, if I forget something, let me know also. I would like to hear your opinion. So once again, my friends, don't forget to like, comment, and to subscribe, and to hit the notification button so you're reminded of the next video. God bless, and I'll talk to you again. Bye-bye.